And we're live. Happy Sunday, everybody. It is great to see you guys all here. Suzanne Igoulet. Happy Sunday. It's good to see you. And good to see you, Uncle Al. Hope you're feeling better. The mouse isn't working. There we go. Rem's Family Farm. Happy Sunday. And Ginger Ninja. It's great to see you. Garden State So-and-so. R&W Homestead, Mr. Walsh. It's good to see you. And happy Sunday, everybody. Today we are going to be discussing some really cool things with a great friend of ours, and we'll get into that in a minute. So this year, we are super excited about the Survival Seeds 2024 collaboration, and we are doing this collaboration with Bushcraft Family, who is doing a sister collaboration about herbs and survival remedies, and with Lazy Days Ahead, who is hosting the giveaway that is worth over $1,000, and we really are just blown away with how big this collaboration is getting. We are really glad to see so many people are enjoying the idea. Be charming. It's good to see you. Thank you. And Raina LaRue, I don't know if I've seen you here before, so hello, happy Sunday. My Alabama Farm Life, it's great to see you. Happy Sunday. And happy Sunday to Miss Gail and Troy Sutton. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Hi, Suzanne Goulet. Happy Sunday. And Andale Homestead. I don't know where I saw. There it is. Happy Sunday. So we are really excited to get into some of the things that are going to be happening in this collaboration. Some of the prizes and the things that have been given towards the collaboration are just like really amazing and really generous. And some of the stuff includes stuff from the pot, Rain Point, X Pest, Premium Wagyu Steak, and also books and merch and gift cards. And it's going to be some really cool stuff. Lazy Days Ahead will be doing 3 kinds of giveaways. For those of you who don't know, come October, there's going to be some giveaways for the channels who are participating, making videos and making content for the hashtag. There's going to be some for the people who comment on those videos, and there's going to be some for the people who are in chat the day of. Hi, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. Oh. And Green Country Agroforestry. Happy Sunday. And we already have our garden and herb entry videos put up if you guys are interested in like seeing what you guys can do for your entry videos. We have those up as examples, and we're really excited for what's going to happen in the coming year with this collaboration. Now there is a hashtag. There's Survival Seeds 2024, and it's not necessary that you use this hashtag, but if you want to use this hashtag, you are welcome to, and it is how we are going to be finding the videos to add them to the playlist and to use them and look at them during the live streams, which we will be actually looking at some of the videos we found towards the end of this live stream. And I also want to ask you guys to send us an email when you receive your seeds. We've sent out most of the seeds. I think there's still some that need to be sent out on Monday, but we've sent out a lot of the seeds, and it would really help us keep track that everyone is getting their seeds if you send us an email when you get your seeds, and also when you make your entry video, just so that we can keep track of things and add them to the playlists. But again, you don't have to just use the hashtag for your entry video and your ending video. You can also use it for any related videos, and they won't be in the playlist, but we will be able to see them. And we'd love to see like recipes involving those seeds and different tricks that you're using involving those plants. It would just be really cool. Hi, Hugo Homestead. It is great to see you this Sunday. Hi, Mr. Carson. Happy Sunday. I think that's everyone. Lazy days ahead, we'll be talking more about the prizes and videos every other Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be here every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with different guests and different things to talk about. And Lazy Days actually has a surprise. It was a surprise to us, too. He literally just called us before this live stream, and they have a surprise that's going to be later in the live stream, so stay tuned to find out about that. And Bushcraft Family will also be live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays if you guys want to learn more about the collaboration and just get to know some more information about it. Last week, we had a special guest, Bushcraft Family, and we talked a lot about the herbal tinctures and remedies that he's going to be doing in his sister collaboration, and we got to learn a whole lot of cool information about that. If you guys weren't there, then I really suggest you check that out. We learned so much in that live stream. Hi, Cooking with Bobby Joe. It's great to see you. Happy Sunday. Back to the point. Next week, we will be live with Idaho Garden Girl to talk about growing beans in containers. And I'm pretty excited about that because, beans are a really cool plant to grow. And I'm excited to learn about how she's growing them in containers. So that'll be really interesting to hear. But this week, we're going to be talking with a true family friend of ours and a role model and influence on all three of us, especially Bunky. This guest is a master gardener, a fused glass artist, a tincture maker, yarn weaver, painter, and so much more stuff that she's able to do. She is just a really great person, and we love talking to her and spending time with her. And she's been a friend of ours for a really long time, and that is Miss Sandy from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Hi, Bedazzle and Sherman's Family Farm. Happy Sunday. Ooh. Hi, Scotty Jihadi. Miss Sandy has been a friend of ours for a really long time, and she's made some really cool things, some of which we actually have the honor of being sent. So this, you might recognize this from some of Bunky's old indoor gardening videos. She had this hanging up in her indoor garden shelf for the longest time until the shelf was taken down, and we still have it hanging in the kitchen. So we just took it down so we could show you guys. And she is really handy with crafts. She also made we have three of these little guys, and they are really cool. And she also made this, which I thought was really, oh no, okay, it shows most of it, which I thought was really cool. And we had this hanging up for a really long time. And so she is really incredible with crafts. And she's also has a lot of different things she does on her channel. She does her One Woman's Walk with God devotional, which used to be its own channel, but she does it now on her Suburban Homesteader channel. And we listen to those when we can with breakfast, because she can have some really great devotionals. And we really just, you feel like family to us, Miss Sandy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have loved you girls since the very first video I ever saw. And it was just like, these girls are going to change some people's lives. And you have, all the different things that you have done and showed people that you can be strong, beautiful young women. And you don't have to be that crazy wild stuff. And people will just be attracted to you and just love you to death. And I just love you.
Well, you definitely changed our lives, Miss Sandy. You have been an incredible role model and inspiration to all three of us. But I mean, I think especially Bunky. Bunky just like watched your videos, and she just decided that she wanted to be just like you when she was older.
That is so sweet of her.
You've definitely become a very important person in all of our lives.
And I recognize that t-shirt.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to talk about this when I was talking about your son. I got these T-shirts from her too. I wear these. You guys have probably seen me wear this shirt before. I wear this all the time. I'm pretty sure I wore it pretty recently. Hi, Miss Chris. I'm pretty sure I wore it recently under a green sweater in one of our lives, and I don't remember which one it was.
Awesome.
But I love this shirt.
Yeah. So I'm totally excited about being on tonight. I have just really been a slacker for about a month on my YouTube channel. But I was in 3 big shows, and I just had to say, I have to paint. And so I had to paint, and I had to make glass, and it was just like, I can't do everything all the time.
I take a break from some stuff.
But I have a whole list to start next week. So.
Well, that sounds really exciting. In a few minutes, our walking dictionary is going to be in here to talk with you about about different growing zones. Okay, never mind. She's here right now.
I've been here the whole time. I'm just waiting for her to get done talking.
Well, I was gonna talk first up.
Hi, KK.
Hello, Miss Andy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Oh, sorry. Good. Thank you. I've been doing that all day. Sorry. I have to pull up my questions really quick. So we know that you go back and forth between 2 different states and by extension 2 different growing zones. How does that work out for you in timing?
Well, it's really interesting because when I'm in Wyoming, I'm a zone 4B, 4A. Depending on what part of my yard is it, there's some microclimates in there.
Right.
And so we get back in April, end of April, and it's just bam, you got to be planting all kinds of stuff inside. It's too cold to plant outside then, but I can't carry too many seedlings back and forth. So
Right.
like I am going to start my onions that I got in my packet, and because they don't take up a lot of room, and I can start those and bring those with me. But then right when I get there, it's planting your squashes, your tomatoes, your peppers, everything, because I want to be able to have them large enough so that in our zone there, I can take them out end of May, first part of June. And so then we grow all summer long. I'm harvesting in September, sometimes the end of into October, if the weather holds. And then we go down to Arizona, which is our zone here, depending on who you talk to, is zone 10 or zone 11.
Oh, wow. That's a big difference.
It is. And so then as soon as we get all unpacked, I'm planting again. And I can go to the nurseries and I can get some seedlings, and other things are just like beets and beans and peas, things like that. I'm going to plant right in the ground with seeds.
Right.
And so
That
it's
makes sense.
basically having 2 summers in a year.
Well, that works out great.
Well, it's good in some ways and bad in some ways, because you never get that break, like in your winter,
Right.
you get to do some other things. But because of different zones, it is a benefit. Like I can grow bananas down here where I couldn't grow them outside year round in Wyoming. So you just have to know your zone, and then you have to take advantage of those zones to get the best produce and the largest amounts of produce that you can. And so I have to watch, especially in the springtime, soil temperatures, the winds that are coming in, if we're going to have snows or frosts, so that I know exactly when I can start things outside. Because some things, brassicas, you can put out even though it's going to frost sometimes. You can throw a cover over them at night and they'll still survive.
Right. And you were talking about microclimates, and we can see a bit of that in our vineyard too. We happen to be uphill and near Lake Michigan, so it keeps our climate different from where it would normally be sorted. And then even inside the vineyard, you have like little dips in the ground where the grapes hurt because the cold kind of runs off there. So it's just interesting to see like how that affects things.
Yeah, because the wind will take that coldness, and in those divots, they can just hover in there, and it can change how it affects the plants. So you have to know your zone. of all the garden things, that can really trip you up if you don't understand the zone that you live in.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So now can you stretch a zone? You can. You can, do covers. You can have hoop houses. You can have cloches, a lot of things to warm up that soil and keep it warm. But you just have to be careful that the soil itself is warming up.
Right.
And so a lot of times when I want to plant my tomatoes out early, I use a wall of water. Do you guys use those at all?
No,
Walls
I haven't. No.
A wall of water is plastic, and it has these little ridges in them that you fill with water.
Oh.
And it can heat up the air temperature in there and the ground. And so you can plant things earlier because the heat of the day warms that up and it holds it in there.
Right.
So even though it gets cool at night, the plants will be okay. So I've used those on tomatoes and peppers and actually squashes and pumpkins even.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
So you just have to watch that. But there are things to do to mix it up a little bit.
Right. Our frost date over here is 6A. We treat it like 6B because of the lake effect and microclimate. But when we get snow, the snow over winter, we find helps because it isolates the roots of the grapevines or the garlic or whatever, and it keeps it from freezing.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting that a snow can be such a good blanket for your garden.
Right.
I think gardeners have a harder time when they have snow and then thaw and that ground is exposed than if you have the snow and it stays and it insulates.
Right. And another thing with the lake effect is that the water has a high specific heat. So over winter, it doesn't actually freeze in the center because it takes longer for it to change state, which is why our climate is different.
Yeah, because I know other people up in Michigan that they're like frozen tundra most of the winter.
Right, right.
Yeah, but it's nice that you can go online. The government has charts. There's charts on all kinds of websites. So if you don't know what your zone is, it will give you information. But the best way is to talk to your neighbors and friends in the extension office on what zones do they really believe you're in.
Right. We have something. I don't know where it went. I just had it, but it's a little slider, and you can find the growing zone off there.
Yeah.
You decide to what your last frost date is, and it'll tell you like what zone you're in and how that's helpful. And we've used that for a good bit, but it tends to be really conservative. So sometimes it's different than it says it is.
Yeah. And a lot of times when I'm planting it, I'll start the things inside and I'll plant more than what I actually need. So that if it looks like there's that window that I could get something in early, I'm not using up all my seedlings. I can start those ones early. If they survive, it's great. If they don't, I still have backups for it. Because our frost date is May 15th. But
oh, wow.
We've had towards the end of May, like a few years ago, we had 11 inches of snow on almost the end of May. But then last year, we could plant at the first part of May just because of the weather.
Yeah. We found it. Not totally sure how to interpret it, but you just slide to wherever your date is, and it just tells you what's good for planting and what isn't. And so bunkies use this a lot. As far as starting seeds early, what are some of the seeds that you find yourself starting the earliest?
Usually
Like,
any kind of allium. So onions, leeks, elephant garlic, which is actually a leek. It's not actually a garlic.
wow.
They just take a really long time to grow. And so I want to start those. And then probably the next thing I'm starting are my brassicas and then tomatoes, peppers, squashes, pumpkins, things like that as it goes through the months. But if I don't start my onions early, I don't get the great big huge onions that I like. It just hasn't had enough time.
Right.
You know, and where you live, you can probably, you know, you guys have your probably peppers and all kinds of stuff started. But,
yeah, we started our peppers pretty recently too.
But if I start them too early, they're under lights, but they can get leggy even with me not wanting them to because they are just too long in the pots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think our peppers we have stratifying right now, and the onions she planted fairly recently. So I think we're just getting started. I don't think we plant tomatoes or anything until like late March.
Oh,
is that different for you?
No, it's usually before we came to Arizona, it would be March, you know, toward the end of March when I would plant my tomatoes and my peppers. Now, since we don't come back until the end of April, I won't start those until the end of April. But eventually they do catch up, you know, even though I'm planting out a 6-inch or 8-inch tomato versus a tomato that's bigger. By the end of July, nobody's ever going to know that it was a 6-inch tomato. It's going to catch up.
Right.
You know,
that makes a lot of sense.
All those long sun days, you know, the sun days, because plants, you know, it's interesting that on a plant seed packet, you know, like if you bought one at the store, a seed packet, it will tell you that it's a certain amount of days, but it's really not a certain amount of days. Plants are more affected by the amount of darkness. And so that's how they actually figure it out. But people won't understand that. So they'll say, oh, that takes 100 days. But it's more how many hours in the day is it dark? So depending on where you live, what zone you are, it can, even though it may be a 100-day plant, if it's farther north, it's going to take longer than 100 days. If you're farther south, it'll less than that.
Mm-hmm. Right. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see. When do you tend to plant like beets and things that stay in the ground longer? Like, well, do you pre-start that, or do you just do it directly in the ground?
Well, I've done both ways. When I plant them like beets, I like to put multiple seeds in a cell or in a 2-inch pot, and I let them grow like that because it's so easy. It takes up less space, and so I'll plant those way before our frost date. Because if I need to throw a sheet or a blanket over top of them, I will. But they're really hardy. So you might as well plant them as early as you can, because then you get your beets earlier, and then you could do succession planting and plant them later. And so a lot of times when I start them inside, about 2 weeks after I've put those seedlings out there, I'll plant just seeds so that I can have more and more. So every couple weeks on all kinds of plants, I'm planting every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
You know,
what we do with beets is, what we do with beets is we just continually plant every time we get something out of there. So like when we get the brassicas or the lettuce out of a bed, we replace that with beets, and we can end up with like 2 or 3 harvests a year. But I don't think we do much of succession planting. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, well, it's just a way so that when those plants start to grow, their leaves are going to give some shade. And so you can put those seeds in the ground fairly close to them. And then by the time you're pulling them out, they're up on, you know, they've got some leaves, and it just goes on and on and on. And so you can get so much food in such a small space.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I have a list of questions. I'm trying to find them. Do you overwinter anything? Like, I know you're going back and forth, but do you just let anything be for overwinter?
Well, I do. Where we live, people told me that I couldn't overwinter artichokes. And I thought, well, surely I can. And so what I can do with my artichoke plants, if I put about 2 feet of straw over top of them, you just take a straw bale and loosen it up and put it over top of it, and then put, I usually just put welded wire over top of it so it doesn't go blow away, because I'm not there to put it back over top of it. And it insulates it enough so that I can just leave it. I do like to grow a lot of perennial vegetables and herbs and flowers so that they're just cold hardy enough that I like to use leaves for mulches, straws for mulches, rotted hay, things like that, just so that they can survive the winter.
Right. Take that.
But like down in Arizona, I planted Swiss chard in between my roses because I have big rose bushes now. And eggplant and Swiss chard survived in 120 degrees for I don't know how many days it was that down here. But I think it was, they got watered every 2 days because they're in that system that's water in the roses. And then I think the roses protected it enough so that I had them and I didn't have to replant that. And then funny things are like the basil never dies. It'll grow for about 5 years, and then the stalks get to be about that big around, and they just keep growing. So that surprised me that they could survive the heat. But
that's super cool.
Most things, if they can be protected and they have enough water, can survive either way. I think that in the wintertime, more trees die because of lack of water than anything, because people don't think of watering their trees in the wintertime. But if you have a space and that's it's nice, like back home, they can get up to sometimes 60 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And that's warm, and your plants need water even though they're in that dormant state.
What are your favorites and least favorite seeds to grow in each zone?
Well, I love growing any kind of squash or pumpkin. I love growing tomatoes. I love peppers. I love the plant of a pepper, and we use them a lot in cooking. I always say that I'm never going to plant eggplant again, but I just love the plant so much, but I don't like eggplant. So I have to give it to people, but the plant is so incredibly beautiful.
It is really pretty.
A different color green. And so it's probably my least favorite, but I do love the plant itself.
Right.
But it's hard to decide what is your favorite because there's so many things that you like because of something. Like I love growing beets. I like beets regular or pickled, but Joe only will eat them pickled. So gardening is one of those phenomena that it's good for you, it's healthy for you, and you get to eat what you make, what you grow.
Do you have least favorites then, like things you're actually never going to grow again?
Well, there's certain varieties of things I won't grow again. You grow lots of different kinds of tomatoes, and you find that I don't like that one. Like San Morello tomatoes, people love those. I hate them. I think they taste terrible, but that's just me. So I'm never going to grow those again. But I'm pretty open to growing about anything, just because I just find it's totally a miracle that you put that seed in that ground, it's dying and it comes back. And it's just amazing. And I just can't help myself. So now in the springtime or in the fall, when we're going to Arizona, I'm so excited about a new garden, trying a new variety, trying this, moving the plants different places, seeing where they grow the best. Because every zone has those microclimates that if a plant doesn't do well one year and I really like it, I'm going to figure out a different place to put it. because the microzone will help that.
Right. Like we've had to do that with grapevines, just like move them up the hill.
Sure.
Because like the little niche where the cold settles just like really devastates them.
Right. And you find that with vegetables, with trees, shrubs, flowers. If it doesn't like its spot, it's more than likely just needs a different place. And I used to I'd only dig them up in the springtime or in the fall time, depending on what it was, because everybody said, well, you can't do that in your zone. But I watched this really great gardener, and he said that try it anytime during the year and you'll be surprised. And so I've tried moving things different times in the year, and really, unless it's just blistering hot, they are okay.
I'm trying to check the chat a little bit. It looks like we have a question from our treasured home. Where's a good place to get stevia seeds? And while I'm bringing up the chat, if you guys have any questions for Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona, now would be a great time to ask them.
I think I got my last stevia seeds at rareseeds.com, which is Baker Seeds, because that's a really cool plant to grow. And if you grow it in a pot, you can bring it inside and it will last for a lot of years for you. And you can use it for the sweetener.
I think our dad might have like an intolerance to stevia, and we haven't actually tried that, so I don't know. But I do know it's like sugar.
Yeah, you can dry it, you can grind it up then, and you can put it in with your teas or your baking. There's some books out there that give you the substitution rates, and for the most part, it's usually equal. Like if you were buying stevia in the store and your recipe needed a half a cup, you would probably use a half a cup of stevia too. I find it more sweet than sugar.
Oh, wow.
So I use less, but that's probably just a personal preference. But I know there are a few books that are just made for stevia, recipes.
That's really cool, actually. So while we're at a stopping point, oh, there you are. I think it is time to bring in Mr. Josie.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hi.
You almost caught me with my beard down. Wow, I was over here typing away, and I heard my name. So, well, how y'all doing?
Good. Are you still traveling?
Oh yeah, we're in Oregon right now.
Awesome.
We'll be here for probably another 10 days. A week, 10 days. We'll be here, and then we'll be heading back. I'll be glad when I get back to normal weather, because this rain is just. My feet are starting to they're getting webs. A duck, so much rain. No, but
I love the rain.
well, she's from here, so I've been in Texas all my life. I don't know nothing about this rain. But no, we're happy to be here. We're excited about the Survival Seeds 2024. I don't know about you guys, but
yeah,
we're excited about it, and we're going to turn. We hope we're going to help you guys turn this Sunday evening live to another Sunday fun day. as good and as big as Joe's over at Garden State Gardener. So, or Grow Big TV. He's got 2 channels. So, not to take away anything from Joe, because Joe, we still want to support Joe. Everybody here, you know that as soon as we're done here, we're going to go visit Joe over at Garden State Gardener.
We're actually going to be heading over to go talk to him after this. Yep.
Exactly.
Good.
So, but no, thank you for inviting us tonight, Trey, KK, and Bunky. I know you're in the background.
I don't actually know where she is right now.
He's probably asleep
In the kitchen eating.
or eating. Y'all's ice cream.
I hope I'm not eating. Yeah. I'm hungry.
But I did want to talk about the giveaway. So we do have a little announcement, and I called you guys right before the live started to run something. Well, the Survival Seeds 2024 is going to be several months long collaboration. In fact, it's going to end in October. So we thought, well, why would we want to have a giveaway in October for the collaboration? Well, to basically reward all those folks that participated, that provided videos for the folks who watched the videos. We want to do that in October. But more so than that, we would like to encourage and basically entice people to join, not in October, but join now. So what we want to do, because I know you guys have been hearing that there's over 1,000, maybe $1,200 worth of prizes that we're going to be giving away. Well, we're talking that's going to be some major gifts, and we're talking sponsored gifts, and then also gifts that have been donated by either subscribers and or channels. So what we're going to do is we're going to be hosting a giveaway on this live, on Sunday Live with the girls, not on our live, because we're trying to encourage folks to follow the survival channel, not necessarily Jesse and Lisa. But when we know all those folks that support us will probably come over here and support Bunky and Trey, Bunky and Trey. But what we want to do is every month, the last Sunday of each month, what we want to do is we want to reward everybody with a giveaway on this channel. It won't take but 15 minutes at the most, because what we're going to do is we're going to take all the videos that have been submitted, and they're in the hashtag. All those collaborators will be on a wheel for a giveaway, one prize every month. So the sooner you get in on providing your entry video and your videos throughout, the more chance you have to win. Correct?
Yeah.
So there'll be a collaborator video, a giveaway, and then we're also going to be giving away a comment picker giveaway for those who watch all those videos. You'll have a chance to win something there, and then we'll give away one hashtag giveaway for all the participants that are in. Like, for example, you have a bunch of people in the chat today. We'll do one giveaway for somebody in the.
Super cool idea.
Yeah, so we're going to be giving away 3 gifts every last Sunday of each month, and we're taking into account all those videos that have come in for that month. And then next month we'll do the same thing and following until we get to October. Now, the last Sunday in October, we'll do the big giveaway. It's going to be the big giveaway, the finale, if you will. The piece de resistance. Where everybody, because that $1,200, and that's just now. We're going to have. Yeah. I know we're going to have more people that are going to want to participate in the giveaway by giving stuff, or more vendors and more companies out there that may want to give. And, right. I know this lady named Miss Ann Dale. She doesn't know you, but I know she's going to talk to. She knows a guy, or she knows the guys. And you never know. We may get some really cool stuff for the giveaways. So that's what we wanted to announce. We're all excited, and I don't know if you guys are thinking about doing it or not thinking about doing it. But the sooner you request your seeds, am I pointing in the right direction? Is that towards KK?
No, that's Miss Lisa.
Way. There you go, because we're mirrored. Okay, so
yeah, you're on the other
Bunky
side.
and Trey are going to be sending, and KK are going to be sending out seeds. Now, I don't know how many they've sent now. What do you send? What, 50 maybe? 50
around 50.
I think about 50.
Okay, so they're sending around 50.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Okay, but you know what? I think it ought to be 100.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stop at 100.
I'm serious. I mean, listen, we're talking about major gifts, folks, major prizes that we're going to be giving away. And if you want in on this, the only way you can win is if you provide an email to Trey, Bunky, and KK at the Vineyard Chicks, letting them know that you want to be part of this collaboration. Okay. If you request the seeds and you receive the seeds, but you don't put in a video or something, you won't win, because you're not going to be on the wheels. So don't just ask for the seeds.
Mom says they're closer to 60 now.
Oh, closer to 60 now. Okay, so Mom's she's right there. Now we're closer to 60.
And Miss Ann emailed a sponsor today.
Exactly. See what I may not always be
Awesome,
right,
Yeah.
but I'm never wrong.
Hey.
This man's already been contacting some sponsors, so we're talking some major giveaways, folks. I don't know about you guys, but I love free stuff. Of course, I'm ineligible because I'll be doing the giveaway, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So we're excited about this, and I know everybody in the Vineyard Chicks family is there. I mean, they're stoked. Probably, are your tongues? Did you cut your tongue or your lip when you were licking all them envelopes?
Funky did them with a glass of water, actually.
Yeah, we used a glass of water.
A little sponge on the because if you do, I've cut my tongue and lip from licking those envelopes before, and never again.
Nope.
But,
So we have a question. Oh.
Okay.
What's the one vegetable, plant, or fruit you wish you could grow?
Money.
Oh.
No, it's a tree. It's called a money tree. If I'm lying, actually, there's one behind
I
us.
think that's what that one is.
Yeah,
called.
right here. It's called a money tree.
But we haven't seen it.
I have not seen a single bill on it yet. Whoever called it a money tree was lying. I ain't seen it. Nope. I'm still waiting. No.
I'm pretty sure money is technically paper, so.
Well, the one plant I think I've always wanted to grow that I've never had any luck with is avocados. For some reason,
You love avocados.
yeah, we love avocados. The thing is our climate's so hot. And speaking of climate, you were talking about microclimate. Believe it or not, we have a microclimate in Houston as well, because everything inside is hot and everything inside is 73 degrees. So that's our microclimate, which she does all her hydroponics. I don't see what's funny about that. It's hotter than Hades outside, but inside 73 constant. Microclimate right there for all the plants. So anyway, any questions?
Miss Sandy, what about you?
I think because I grow bananas down here, I would like to grow bananas up there. And I do grow the plant, but a banana takes about 18 months. So every year I buy the banana trees, I grow them all summer in Wyoming, and then I give them away to daughters or neighbors or somebody. But I just love what the tree looks like. But you don't get bananas until about 18 months on a tree. And so somebody gets the benefit out of it, just not me.
So
For some reason, I was going to say try growing a tree inside.
Well, when I give them away, they do grow them inside, but it's not quite the same. And a banana once in a while will make bananas inside, but not usually. But they are a great looking tree.
Yeah,
anyway.
but the one thing that we don't like about the banana trees down in Texas is that they attract roaches. So plants are, I mean, they're full of water, right?
Yeah.
They love the water, so they attract cockroaches, unless you like cockroaches, But
in Arizona, I don't have that problem. Maybe it's just too dry.
Yeah, it's real moist and humid in Texas or Houston, so that's why we have. I mean, you can grow banana trees, and there's a lot of people who do, but they do attract cockroaches.
Yeah, and a banana tree won't make bananas until it gets 140 to 150 leaves. Because it's when you buy them, they're usually pretty small, and by the time they're doing bananas, they're probably this big around because it's just more leaves from the center and it pushes everything out. And until it's gotten to that 140, 150 leaves, it won't do a banana bunch either.
Now, Sandy, Sandy, did you actually go out there and count each one of those leaves? I
don't. I just wait till they come out.
I got 139. Next year, we're going to have bananas.
Yeah, but I can usually tell when they start to get about, they're probably 8 inches in diameter. It's about time for a banana bunch to come out of it.
Oh, wow.
And then you cut that down because it will never do anything again.
Oh, really?
The plant will just die, but it sends up pups, babies, and you'll have more that come up right next to it.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
An old dog learns new tricks. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a banana tree, the base is like a corm, like a giant ryoza. Well, it's not long, it's round, so it's more like a comb. And then it'll just send up babies. They call them pups.
Huh.
Aw, that's a cute name.
kind of like our sago palms out front.
Yeah, like sago
Yeah.
palms.
So have little,
Yeah.
little
Right.
ones come up around the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly the same.
I think we would probably want to grow mangoes.
Mm.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Mom really likes mangoes, so naturally we do too.
We also tried eggplant and
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but Mom loves it.
Sayote?
Yeah, that.
Oh, chayote.
Yeah, something like that.
It's either that,
but-
sayote, or coyote, and I'm pretty sure Dad says it wrong.
Chayote is kind of like a. It's almost like a.
Cactus, isn't it?
No,
It's
it's almost like a squash. It's
Kinda, yeah.
It's used a lot in soups.
Yeah,
And-
Mom
Yeah,
loves
Mom loves it, but
that.
we're not having much luck growing it. So I think that would be
So-
up there.
We have
trying.
a produce market near in Houston that they have tons of that chayote. It's just abundant.
Huh.
Oh.
So we'll have to get some and send you some.
Alabama Farm Life would like to grow mangoes and citrus. I want to try. I want to grow like oranges. And I've been waiting for a
Oranges.
peach tree for like 4 years.
I just
You know-
planted a new orange, a Valencia orange.
Ooh, that's
I
awesome.
love
We've had it's been hit and miss for us because we'll plant an orange tree and it'll provide like 1 or 2 oranges, but then he get hit with a freeze.
Yeah.
And we've
Mm.
lost
Oh.
more oranges here the last 10 years than we have. Well, we do have one in the front that's doing really well. It's an orange pineapple, believe it or not.
Mhm.
It's orange pineapple.
So
it's
like a
a
pineapple that's the color orange.
No, it's an orange. It tastes like a pineapple, right? Or is a
Oh.
pineapple
Oh.
orange?
Should have called it a
No.
pineapple orange.
No, it's
It looks like an orange,
Look.
but it has a little flavoring of like pineapple, cross
Uh,
orange.
Got it.
right.
Oh, like the pine berry. I grew pine berries for a long time. They're strawberries, but they're white with red seeds, and
Mhm.
they're supposed to taste like pineapples, but they don't.
I
This
didn't
is
think so
strawberry.
either when I tried to grow those.
They taste like strawberries. They were so. I had an entire patch. It thrived for years, and then last year it just stopped.
Really?
A lot of times strawberries are only, the plant itself is only good for about 3 to 5 years, and then you really
Oh.
need to replace them.
Now, Sandy,
Oh,
do
oh,
you
that
bring
is-
all do you bring all your plants from Wyoming to Arizona whenever you go down to Arizona? I mean, all your like house plants or all your
No, I give them away and then I just buy new ones because I can't live without plants. And so, and then a lot of my master gardener friends will give me cuttings from them, you know, or they'll give me the branch and I'll leaf cut it, you know, I'll
Yeah.
propagate them myself.
Mhm.
And then by the time I'm ready, you know, I can just give them away. But I find a lot of joy in doing it. So I'm okay. But because I couldn't live without houseplants besides regular plants.
right, yeah. But I didn't know, people that do that go north or south. If they, for example, do you plant like one item in Arizona and take it back with you to Wyoming because you can't grow it in Wyoming, or vice versa?
A lot of times, yes. Like we're harvesting lemons and oranges and grapefruits right now. And so I'll can them and then I can take them back and I can use them. And then like when we came down, I brought apple juice, grape juice. I brought apples and pears off our trees. And then I made butters and stuff when I got down here. And when I go back to Wyoming this year, it'll be the 4th year of my same potato plants. So, well, potatoes themselves. So I've just saved some of the potatoes because if they were diseased, I wouldn't, but they've been fine so far. And then I just plant them and then I'll just dig up some of them before I go, you know, and I'll chit them and I'll just take them with me and plant them right away. And like last year and the years before, I just will get a box and I'll put soil in it. Do you know what chitting is of potatoes?
Chitting?
Chitting.
I
it's-
know he says it. I forgot.
It's when
what
you
it
put
is.
them in the dark and they grow little root stuff.
But you
plants.
don't put them in the dark. If they were in the dark, they would make great big eyes.
Oh,
But if you put them in not direct light, but regular light, they'll make short, squatty eyes, and they'll turn greenish purple.
Mhm.
And then you'll get potatoes faster. And so
Oh.
I just chit them first, then I put them in soil. I'll put a layer of soil, put them in there, put soil over top of them, close the box and I'll just take them back.
Okay.
Sandy, you wouldn't be chitting me, would you?
Yeah, that's right.
I never heard that word. Now I learned. I learned a new word today.
Yeah, in Europe, everybody chits their potatoes.
Oh my goodness.
But it gives you a head start. So when you go buy your potatoes this year, I like to use egg cartons, and I just set them in there, and you would think that the eyes would just go crazy like they do in your cupboard,
Right.
but they have enough light, and so they just get these strong, huge eyes. And you'll probably get your potatoes. I probably get mine 2 or 3 weeks earlier than other people,
Right.
just from doing that.
Okay.
And then my other trick with potatoes is when it gets halfway through the summer, I chop the potato plant off in half. So the energy is all going to the
So
potatoes.
nothing's going to the leaves.
Yeah.
It's more going
Right.
to the
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And you can do a test plot. You can do some of them and not do it, and some of it that you do it. And every single time, the ones that you cut off will have more potatoes and bigger potatoes.
That's a good idea. I didn't never thought about that because you're right. All the energy would be going to all the leaves unless you cut them. Then,
Do you leave any of the leaves?
Yeah. So say the plant is 2 or 3 feet tall. I'll just cut it in half. And it will grow some leaves back, but not as much. And all that energy is going down with, staying down there.
Yeah, just give it
Right. That makes sense.
yeah. Yeah.
And Anne asked how to spell that. It's just CHITTY.
Chitty.
Oh, actually, ING probably, because it's chitty.
Chitty. Yeah.
Pronounce it clearly.
I know
Yeah,
it's a
you-
funny word.
So
What else, girl?
Well,
no, she's asking
Oh,
if there's
no,
anything
say
else.
what
I do want to
else,
say that if there's anybody in the chat or anybody that you guys know as that are vendors that want to participate in the giveaway by donating to it, please send us an email at lazydaysahead1031@gmail.com, and we will gladly take your donation. We won't rob you anybody of their blessing.
Jesse, I
Yes,
would
ma'am?
make some, I do fused glass. I could make some plant stakes that have vegetables on them. Would give those for you. You
That
guys
would
could give away.
That would be awesome. That'd be
Cool.
excellent giveaway.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll make them and I'll send you a picture.
Thank you. Yeah, we'd definitely. I'm sure the girls would.
well, we should probably mention that there were 2 videos on the hashtag this week. One was from Ginger Ninja, just hold it up, and the other one was from we just took pictures. We've got one from Ginger Ninja, and that's the wrong one. Sorry. And one from Miss Gail at Gail Southern Living, and there were some comments in them that were included in those videos. There was one on Miss Gail's from R&W Farmstead, Walsh Farms, who I actually saw earlier here. And he was talking about beet leaf, how he uses beet leaves and pickles his beets. And he actually really likes beets. So he was talking about how he really enjoyed them. And then there was also Ginger Ninja becoming a GreenStalker.
Perfect.
Commented on it, and she said, and she was there. Oh man, I am messing this up. The comment was "Grow Ninja Grow," and that was fun.
Yeah. So when we do the comment picker prize giveaways, we're not going to be looking for a certain comment. We're just going to draw from one of the videos that were picked, and then yeah. So
we're just those were just some comments that we liked on the videos.
Yeah.
But R&W is talking about how he uses beet leaves as in his BLTs.
Oh, that would be good.
You
Oh,
guys talked about that when we were talking about your 6 seeds that you chose, and I remember you saying something about you can eat the leaves. What?
Uh-huh.
Well, yes, the leaves are used in a lot of things. You can use them.
Do they taste like, let's say, lettuce or romaine or anything? Do they taste something similar to that, or cabbage?
I've only
Kind of unique.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, I think, too. But you can put them in salads. You can saute them like Swiss chard. You can. I like them when you saute them and then have scrambled eggs with them.
Oh,
I like that. But you can put them in sandwiches too, and you could actually chop them up and put them in casseroles, all kinds of stuff. Don't throw them away.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah,
you
we
could.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just chopping them off.
Our mom puts them in water and salt and other seasonings and puts beans in that, and then that's our soup.
Well, there's a lot of
that was-
flavoring.
There's a lot of other stuff, like seasoning wise, but it's that and
Greens and beans.
beans. It makes a really good soup.
Yeah, I think it's only in America really that we don't use the entire vegetable. You know, like we pick the radish and that's what we're going to eat. Well, when it makes the big stalk and flowers, when it bolts, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the flowers. And then when it makes those little pods, I've pickled those pods. I've sauteed those pods. And a lot of times people that can't eat radishes because it upsets their stomach can eat the pods. So I don't know what chemical difference that is, but I've heard that from a lot of people.
Really?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
really
fascinating.
interesting.
So when I was in downtown Oregon, Roseburg here the other day with my brother-in-law, we stopped at a little like a gift shop kind of place, and they had some seeds that I've never seen before.
Oh, wow.
They had a package of seeds called rainbow carrots. I've never heard of rainbow. I thought carrots were orange. No, they were like orange, purple, yellow,
Red, white.
red. Rainbow.
Bunky really likes
What is that, folks? Who plants rainbow carrots?
Bunky likes
Bunky
them.
really likes rainbow carrots. She's planted them a few times.
And I feel like each one tastes different.
I think
I
so
did
too.
kind of feel that.
So, folks, look
And
it
like
up.
I'm not sure if they're white. And
They're good.
In fact,
They're good.
I'm gonna go back.
Rainbow
tomorrow.
carrots.
I'm gonna go back
Hey,
and buy some.
I'm sending these
We're gonna
to
give
you.
some of those away.
Jesse, I'm going to send these to you. These are rainbow carrots. I'm sending them.
I'm not sure if like the white ones are parsnips or if they're just white carrots. But
No, they're just white carrots. Yeah. And the carrots are funny ones because people only eat the carrot. But you can add the tops to salads. If you have a lot of carrots and you dry all that tops, you can grind it up and as flour. There's just all kinds of stuff to do with vegetables.
wow, that's really cool.
I don't know. I think it's America that we're silly and we only, we only
Right.
eat little bits of it.
So Milk and Honey asked if we were traveling to Northwest Oregon towards the coast. We are going towards what's it called? Portland. We'll be going to Portland, believe it or not, Portland on Tuesday. And we'll be meeting up with another channel called My Wild Home. So My Wild Home is Melody and Ryan. They're from Canada. They're the guys that purchased an island, a 62-acre island. I don't know. They got this thing for Gilligan. But anyway, they purchased an island. You'd have to be our age to understand that joke.
Yeah.
But so we'll be meeting with those. They're coming down from Canada to meet us in Portland, Oregon. So Milk and Honey, we could go back towards the coast if we had to. So are you talking about like Astoria area, or where are you talking about exactly? Because we're going to be in Portland area on Tuesday.
Be Charming is asking if anyone's ever made beet powder.
I have. You just slice the beets and you can dehydrate them. And I have a Vitamix at home in Wyoming, and it will just pulverize anything. And then it just pulverizes it into powder.
Have you ever tried to put a sock in that?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you ever experimented with that if it can actually pulverize anything?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it. They're expensive. I got it for a present one time.
I imagine you could probably freeze dry them as well.
Oh, I bet you could. But,
yeah, I mean,
a lot of people don't want to eat beets, but they are so good for you. And so if you just pulverize them into beet powder, you can add them to stuff and nobody knows.
Right. Put it in the soups. You can put it put it in a what do you call those, like those beverage drinks in the morning?
Smoothie.
Smoothies. Yeah. Put them in a smoothie. but you don't have to taste all the beet because there's some people don't like that.
Right.
Right.
But
Huh.
yeah,
I didn't know people didn't like it.
Yeah. Some people, you'll either hate or love beets. You'll either love them or you think they taste like dirt.
well, so we buy the ones that are dehydrated. The dehydrated beets that we buy are awesome.
Yeah.
Now the
You can put a
pickled
little
ones,
sea salt on
I'm
them.
a little bit on the fence when it comes to the pickled ones. But, no, but I'll eat the dehydrated ones all day long. They're like chips, It's like
Yeah.
I can handle that all day.
Yeah. Another really good way is if you grill them on your grill and you put some herbs on there and butter and they're just like phenomenal.
Oh,
It's like Jacob Engelholm is one of the people who doesn't like to eat beets. Our mom pickles them.
yeah,
really
mom
well.
pickles them really good.
I don't know if we actually do anything with them raw. Do we?
But
I think we put them
She
in
boils
But
them and we put it in a salad, but I don't think we just do anything from
I
like
think
just
you
as
beat-
it is.
If you beat anything long enough, it'll turn to powder. Just saying, you beat it'll turn to powder, whether it's beets, carrots, whatever.
Yeah, our mom really likes her beet salad.
that salad is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, fried beets.
That sounds really good.
Hmm?
Getting a lot of great beet ideas in here.
Yep.
And I think it was Ginger Ninja was talking about how carrot tops, which we were just talking about a second ago, can help take the taste out of game meat too.
The
And-
wildest.
That was interesting when I saw that. I didn't know that would do that.
Yeah, just
There we
beat
go.
it.
Beat the wild taste out.
I mean, you could probably, if you do have a problem with the taste, you could enhance the taste with maybe some stevia or something, like a sweetener, not necessarily sugar, but something like honey or something. If you just really can't handle the taste of the beet,
Right.
or you could do the opposite. You have sweet and you have savory. Maybe salt them down a little bit with some
Add hot sauce.
Himalayan hot sauce. Put something on it that you do like, or maybe some Cajun sauce, or maybe some peppers, like the peppers you guys are going to grow, the pepperoncinis. Oh my God, those are good peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited to try those ones. Actually, we've never grown them before, and it sounds pretty cool.
A lot of your pizza places, if you guys order pizza, a lot of your pizza places have them that they'll add with the pizza. So, I mean, on the side, as a pepper, not on the pizza itself, but you can ask for pepperoncinis and then they'll put them on there or in there with it.
Ram's Family Farms pointing out how the carrot green is almost the same as parsley, and that's one of the reasons that Bunky started planting carrots inside, because our dad has been doing parsley inside for like forever, and she decided to run that experiment one year, and that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great idea, and it went pretty well.
Since those of us who have joined the collab are going to be growing beets, we're all going to need ideas to make them edible.
Exactly. I mean, but the same thing for the peppers too. We may have to come up with some ideas on, how can you eat these peppers, or how do you cook with these peppers, or how do you whatever. The same with the tomatoes, and then the onions. There's not a lot of people that like onions. I love onions, but there's a lot of people who don't like onions, or that they can't eat them because they're, I don't know. Maybe it's a medical issue, but onions is another one. There's a lot of ways to eat onions.
A lot of ways you can use onions.
And that's going to be
They're
half the
great.
fun of this, just like sharing what we know with other people and learning from other people.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the other one is the squash. Now, I'm not much of a squash eater. I love squash. I mean, as far as in soups, but the ones that you guys picked is probably one of the most famous, right? So the
Butternut.
The butternut. Yeah. Yeah, not Butterfinger, but a butternut. and then the Walla. I mean, not the Walla Walla. What's the other one? The kidney beans. You don't have to be a kid just to eat the beans. Beans. You don't have it. They're kidney beans, but it's not the right kind of kid.
Yeah. And going back to the butternut you just brought up, our family uses them as substitute pasta. So we'll make the sauce, and that becomes the pasta.
Let me ask you a question. You know how is a butternut squash? Is it the same consistency as zucchini?
No.
I would more like, I don't know. For some reason, I always kind of associated it cooked with a sweet potato.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you ground down a zucchini, like with a grate, you grate it down. Can you do the same thing with butternut squash? The reason I ask you that is because if you can, then you can make some butternut squash bread, just like you make zucchini bread.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Grape just
Yeah.
smell like sweet potato, actually.
Or, well, even like sweet potato bread. You make sweet potato bread. So I imagine you can probably make some good butternut. The name itself, butternut bread. Oh my goodness.
That sounds so
That
good.
sounds really good.
Give me the butter. I'm ready. Butternut bread. So,
That'd be fun to try.
All the ideas that can come out of this. Yeah, jot that down. Take a little note. Put it on your refrigerator if you have to.
I did like all the ones that you picked because all of them, there are a lot of ways to preserve them, and you can, and all of them you can save their seeds, because you can save a few of the onions and just let them go to seed the next year, so that you have like this continuous thing of onions. And so I liked all the ones that you picked, and each one is very abundant when it grows, like butternut squash, you just have tons of them on one vine. And so that's good for people.
Them with so many seeds.
Right. And I mean, and really you could dehydrate every single one of them or freeze dry them, can them, just so many things. So it was a good choice of all the ones that you picked.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Oh, we're glad you liked it.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I think that people will be amazed when it starts to grow and all the things that they can do with the different vegetables.
And Dad's bringing up that they overwinter great too.
You do.
Well,
we are at an hour now, and we don't want to take up too much of anybody's time. But thank you so much for coming up, Sandy, and sharing all of your knowledge.
Jesse, I'll send you those things too, and I'll send you girls some of those rainbow carrots.
Send me an email.
Thank you.
But before we go, one last question, Trey, Monkey. Before I leave, what has 5 toes and is not your foot?
Your sister's foot.
My foot.
Well, you're right. You're right.
My foot.
Sister's foot. Right.
That's wonderful.
Well, thank you guys for coming up and talking about the collaboration. It was great to have you guys on.
And we learned a lot about
Thanks
growing
so much.
zones.
Yeah, it was really fun to talk to you guys and listen to you guys.
Yep. And anybody new in here who wants to join? Send an email.
Yeah. I think I saw some new people in here. If you guys are interested in joining the Survival Seeds 2024 collaboration,
Just
you
send
can
us an email.
send us an email or
But Our Treasured Home, Ginger Ninja, Be Charming, Grace
thank
and
you guys
Fire.
for coming.
Thank you guys for
It was great to see you guys. Oodles and Caboodles of Crafts.
Love your
I
name.
really love that name. Mr. Carson and Mr. Randy. Thank you guys so much for coming. And again, thank you, Mr. Jesse, Miss Lisa, and Miss Sandy for coming on here and spending time with us. This was really great to talk to you.
It was.
Yeah.
Thank you. So much fun.
Yeah. Have a great night, everyone. And thank you again for coming. This was really fun.
Bye, everybody.